Namaskar, dear devotees, dear friends. Let us begin the Bhagavatam, and Bhagavata, as usual, we will chant the mantra and then start. Shantakaram bhujagashayanam padmanabham suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavavayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. He is the master of all lokas. Sarva lokaika natham. Natha is the master. Sarva loka. What is the sarva loka? In very broad sense, we can say Sarga, Marta, and Patala. Of course, there are so many Patalas are there. Then the different sargas are there, and so naturally the sarga, marta, patala, or sarvalokaikanatham, he is the master of everything everywhere, and he is shanta, he is quiet, calm. He is the creator, but at the same time he is quiet, he is calm. When the creation, at the time of creation, when someone is creating something, it is a Rajaguna usually that prevails. The activity, so Rajaguna prevails. But at the same time, we find the Supreme Lord, the Creator, he is not that way agitated or Rajaguna Sampanna. He is calm and composed. Why? He is thinking and the creation is coming. So that is the reason. So we many times we have read the meaning of this. Now today we will go to that passage where the Lord will be giving us the list of the supernatural power a devotee can have. A devotee, I am using the word, but the devotee through devotion become a yogi. Usually we know there is a Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada in the Patanjali Yogodarshan. And in the Vibhuti Pada there are so many varieties of power that comes in. Swami Vivekananda in his Raja Yoga, there also he has described all this power, almost the same power. But a devotee can also develop this power. So that is the speciality, and in the Bhagavata he is telling, and we know Uddhava in one point of time he asked how to meditate, in what aspect and in what form. If we are meditating, how to meditate? Second, do we need a form or without form? And if it is a form, what kind of form? So that was the question the Uddhava asked, and the Lord Supreme, the Krishna, he gave the answer. And he said that you should meditate on the Vishnu. Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Banamala Vibhushitam. So that Banamala Vibhushitam, he is decorated with the beautiful flowers, the garland of flowers, and Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, that is the Vishnu's, the four hands. On that you can meditate, or on any god. So you can meditate on God. So that is the asana, pranayama, that also he taught, how to sit and how to control the breathing, and then we draw the mind from the sense objects and concentrate on the Supreme God with form. Without form is very difficult. those who are practicing without form, it is so difficult. It is possible, but difficult. Our goal is to concentrate the mind. So why not take the help of the form, and when the Lord is prescribing? So that is why the Lord said that it is better that you first practice how to sit, because you have to keep the body erect for a long time. You have to keep the body still. So you need to sit. That is the process of posture of sitting. Different type of, it's called asana in Sanskrit. And the Hatha yogis, they have developed so many varieties of asanas. So asanas are there, whatever is comfortable. Those who are not being able to sit squatting on the floor, they can sit on any chair. Not very soft, not very hard, a comfortable chair. But we should see that our back is straight. For the meditation, that is very essential. And keep the back straight and asana, meditate. And then another thing that disturbs our mind is our breathing. And in Sanskrit it is pranayama. Prana, the breathing, control, ayama, control. So the pranayama, the breathing control, why? Because we know that for our general knowledge and experience, when we are running, we breathe so fast. And when you are sitting, it becomes slow. When you are sleeping, it goes much slow. So when we are slowly controlling the breathing, and then almost so slow way it goes, then it is not disturbing our mind. So these are the first two processes. Third, withdrawing the mind from the sense objects, and then where the mind we will keep. We are withdrawing from the outer all objects, and then keeping on the beautiful form of the Lord. That is why Hindus, they have introduced different forms. The Buddhist, in the beginning, the Lord said, Atma Deepo Bhava, you must be your own light. Don't meditate on any object. The Jnana yogis, they are also not meditating on any objects, but again they are making themselves as an object. And in the Buddhism, slowly different type of forms have come, particularly the Tibet Buddhism, different forms have come. That is not possible. So and then sometimes they will meditate on some chinna, some we can say that the doves or the cross or omkara, they like this different type of symbols are there, so the chinna, they will meditate. Here the Lord said, meditate on the beautiful form of God. As because we are withdrawing the mind, and if we can keep the mind attached to a beautiful form, and then also the gurus, they have introduced the Manasa Puja. Mentally, you are performing the rituals, washing the feet of the Lord, and then offering flower and sandal paste, then putting the garland, then burning the incense sticks, and also chanting before Him, offering the food, and you are imagining that you and your Lord and no one around. So that is also process of meditation, and slowly it goes back. And when this meditation is possible, so that we can say that meditation on my beautiful form. First he said. So from the form it goes without form. How? First now the Lord is telling, you are meditating on my beautiful form. And when the form is, you can imagine very perfectly, and it says that you must meditate on the feet of the Lord first, then slowly His body, then His face, then the whole body. The 1, 2, 3, that is the 4. There's the 4th step. Then you can imagine on a beautiful lotus flower. Maybe sometimes it is red, sometimes it is white. The Lord is sitting, and you can imagine He is sitting within your heart, and you can see His face, and He is looking at you. And that benign face, that attracts you completely. This is the way the meditation goes. Slowly, 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 the Lord is teaching. The second step will be forget the whole body, forget the flower, the body, only the face. And then ultimately, sometimes the gurus, they teach only 2 eyes looking at you, and nothing, not even the complete face, only 2 eyes. So we began with the flower and all other things for the puja, for the ceremony, and the God is sitting, the feet and the body, the face. Now ultimately it goes to 2 eyes of the God, the beautiful eyes looking at you. And then finally it says, forget that too. And you, the person who is meditating, merging with the God, the object of your meditation. So this is the way the God is teaching the meditation. Very simple, but this meditation gives a wonderful effect. So ultimate merging with the God. How? Light. You can see that you are not the body, you are light, and you are merging with that wonderful light that is God. God, that the object of the God that we were seeing, His form, now there is only light and nothing else. And the one who is meditating on that God also becomes the light and merges into that. So that is the way from the duality one can reach to the monism, or we can say become one. So that is the ultimate. So Sri Krishna is teaching meditation step by step. We can now, just to remind us, sit properly. First is the sit. Then regulate the breathing, the second. Third, withdraw the mind from the external objects and concentrate on the beautiful form of God. Fourth, forget the whole body. Only concentrate and visualize the face and the eyes. Then the change meditation with form to without form by thinking that the Lord is a divine light. And finally, merge into that divine light and forget that you are meditating. Become one with that Supreme Being. So dhyana and dhyata, dheya. In Sanskrit they say dhyana, the process of meditation that we have learned. Dhyata, the person who is meditating, I or you. Dheya, the object of meditation, that is the God. And now it is the divine light. So it is merging completely. There are so many people, they like to learn the meditation. Can you please teach meditation? And a lot of requests they come. This is very simple. The people, they are developing in different form and different way, so to make people interested. But this is very simple, and the Lord, God, Sri Krishna, He is teaching. So obviously, in a very perfect way, we can learn it. What happens when one becomes perfect in meditation? That is the discussion that we promise that we will do this time. Jitendriyasya yuktasya jitashasasya yoginah Moi dharayata cheta upatishtanti siddhayaha. Siddhi. Siddhi means, that's in Sanskrit they say Siddhi, Ashta Siddhi, like that. The Siddhis means the success or the power, supernatural power. It comes that to supernatural power. In the book 11, chapter 14, verse 40, Sri Krishna described the form of Vishnu so that one can meditate on the beautiful form. Then the verse 42 to 46, these 5 verses we have just discussed. In the first verse of the chapter 15, Lord Krishna, he just now I quoted from there, he is describing the how to control, and then when you control you get the supernatural power. The Lord said, Siddhayo Ashtadasha Prokta. 18 power, 18 different powers are there. Siddhayo Ashtadasha Prokta. Siddhis have been described as 18 by those who are perfect in yoga. Dharana yoga paragayi. Those who are perfect in yoga, and they got this 18 power, and then only. Now, sometimes the modern people, they doubt, they say this is not this is not that, it cannot be, sometimes they say, without any practice. But now we can understand how the yogis could predict, how the yogis could know all this, which is where, everything, because of this power. When we are controlling the nature, and a power comes within the person who is controlling, meditating. So meditation, the power of meditation, we cannot imagine so much of power in one person can have. What are the powers? First are the 8 powers that the God directly give. He says, it is directly associated with me. 8 powers. Then comes the 10 powers, but the God is not giving, but the yogi, when he is developing his swatika quality, that is good qualities, we can say, the best qualities, the purity, then he achieves. So 8 and 10, total 18. First is anima, minuteness. A yogi can make his body in the size of an atom. When you read this, we think how it is possible. But this is yoga. And if you have read the Ramayana, those who have read, you know, at the behest of the Sri Ramachandra, Hanuman was crossing the ocean. And when he was crossing, he met one devil who said that you have to pass through my mouth. Then only you can reach to the shore of the Lanka. And that is mandatory. You have to pass through my mouth. And it is not possible. So when you are entering into that mouth, immediately that he will close it and they eat you. Hanumana said, okay, no problem. He then fathomed the huge mouth, and Hanumana, the great yogi, that's why Swami Vivekananda said, it cannot be the monkey of a tree, an animal, no. It's the yogi. A yogi only can have this power. How a monkey can have that? Monkey cannot control their mind. The yogi means perfect control of the mind. And the first thing that he is getting as a power of his control is the anima. Anima is the minuteness. Hanuman became so tiny, he just entered and came out of the mouth. And this demon could not close the mouth, and naturally Hanuman said, I entered, I came out, you couldn't catch me, so now you have to allow me to go. Is in the story form, So obviously the modern mind may raise doubt, but this is possible to make the body so subtle. This is possible. Second, Mahima. Mahima, immensity. It's a huge, same Hanumana. The yogi, he can increase his body. And if you read the Ramayana again and again, these powers that the Hanumana showed over there, that we can see. Some people came to the arrest Hanumana. In Ramayana, the story, Hanumana has reached the other shore, and naturally the Ravana wanted to arrest him. So those people came to arrest. Hanumana became so big, so huge. So how to bind him? It was not possible. The whole state, the country was not having that long rope to bind that man. Then Hanumana thought, no, let me go and meet the Ravana and see how is he, so that I can go back and report to my master, Sri Ramachandra, properly. So again he became normal. They tied him, took him, and in the court of Sri Ravana. And Ravana was sitting on the throne, that was naturally high. Most of us, we know from the movies and the pictures, and the king is sitting on a high pedestal on the throne, and all others are below. That was the system of the king's court. Hanumana went and he found that Ravana is sitting on a high and on that throne, and he, as a representative of Sri Ramachandra, if he is standing on the floor, it doesn't look good. But no one is going to give him that high seat. What to do? He started increasing his tail, and it makes so big, it became equal on the same level of the Ravana, and he sat on that. So the funny stories. We read and we enjoy, and then we forget. But we forget that this is the power of the yoga, and this is possible. So immensity, Mahima, the Anima and the Mahima, this is possible. Then Laghima. Laghima means lightness. Anima, Mahima, and Laghima. I am giving you the Sanskrit name because that is very interesting, and if you can understand, can remember the Sanskrit name, you know the meaning, of course. That is called Laghima. That is a lightness. Yogi become very light, whole body start floating. Those are students of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, you know, in his biography, some of his disciples, particularly his young disciple Narendranath, was very eager to take a photograph. Sri Ramakrishna was not very interested in the photograph, but because of the Narendra and Narendra's friend, Sri Ramakrishna is to love him also. So they were going on requesting, we need a photo. Now the new camera has come, so we must get a photo. He agreed one day. Those who have visited the Dakshineshwar, you can imagine the goddess Kali, the Mother Kali's temple. Then is the Vishnu temple. In the Vishnu temple, at that particular area that is paved with black and white marble, the cross checked. And if you notice carefully, majority of the photos, they have now changed those things. Now because of the modern things, they can change. Previously we have seen the original photo. You will find that Sri Ramakrishna is sitting on that floor, the marble floor, and the black and white marble, that is very clear. He was sitting keeping that God at the back. And when he sat and they were arranging the camera, in those days, that old-fashioned camera, the cameraman used to go behind a cloth, and then he used to give a flash and the light will burst and the smoke will go, so then only so that photo can be taken. So it was a long process. So obviously Sri Ramakrishna was waiting, and you can imagine his mind, the moment he sat, he went into deep meditation, and the face, particularly we can say the mouth, slowly turned to one side. Now I don't know, Bhavanath or Vivekananda, someone, or the cameraman himself, he came to make it right position. So cameraman, perhaps he came to see, then afterwards he saw, as because he's tilted, his neck is little left side, then he came and wanted to make it all right. The moment he touched the chin and wanted to force it to make it in the right position, the whole body came on his finger. Sri Ramakrishna's whole body he lifted just because he was touching the chin and making is all right, and the whole body lifted from the, and he became so much afraid he left it. So this Laghima, the moment one is meditating, the whole power goes in such a way his body becomes so light. So that is exactly that we can understand. These are not simply words. These are the truth. These are the facts. It happened. Then comes the prapti. In the prapti, attainment. Through senses, any object can be achieved. Any object can be achieved through senses. That is called prapti. Because of this, unless and until one is having the special control, tremendous control on his mind, so obviously anything you like to do, you can do. I have heard, I have not read anywhere, that one of our Swamiji, he was then the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order. He went to visit the Kamarpuku Center, and there another Swamiji, almost the same age, they were friends, they're strolling outside, and they saw a poor villager, maybe that he was having some skin disease or something. He was sitting by the side of the road. The second Swami of the Kamarpukur, he had the power to heal. So seeing that condition, his emotion rose, and he thought that to heal that man through that mantra Shakti, the power of the mantra. When he started chanting that mantra to heal that man, the other Swami, who was the then General Secretary, immediately understood his mind and said, this is not our job, don't disturb the Prakriti, don't disturb the nature. He is having all these things because of his karma phala. As because you have acquired some power, don't disturb the nature. Now whether it is good or bad, why if you have the power you could make him all right, that is a different argument. But my point that this is possible. One was trying to do it, just mentally he was thinking, the other, how could he understand that and say you should not do it? So that is prapti. Through the senses it is possible. There are so many examples are there in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The moment you are trying to do something good, you just think and that comes to you. It happens to many people, those who are practicing meditation and concentrating, it happens automatically, it happens. And then come prakamya. Prakamya, capacity to enjoy everything, physical or subtle. Capacity to enjoy everything, physical or subtle. Suppose someone has heard that something is there, he has not seen that, only heard. and he heard that it is there. Sitting in one place, he can enjoy that particular thing if he wishes, and it is possible. That is called prakamya, capacity to enjoy everything, physical or subtle. Physically, of course, it is possible, and subtle also it is possible. The Ram Prasad, he was as a great sage, and he was a tantric. But the tantra, as we know, he'll be going to a secluded place, and not like that. He will be practicing austerity in the burning hut, not like that. He was having a small, beautiful image of Kali in his own home, and he used to worship that. And he dedicated his whole mind into that. But he was a family man. He was having a daughter, wife. The wife came and said, "I am sorry to inform you, we don't have anything to cook today. I don't know what I am going to offer it to you and to God and to my daughter." And the wives are so dedicated, they never talk about or think about themselves. She is thinking, the lady is thinking, what to cook so that I can offer it to God and to my husband and to my daughter, the child. Ram Prasad then prayed to the Mother, Divine Mother. And those who know the Ram Prasad, the song, he told, "Oh my Mother, give me some money. And I promise that I won't forget you." Because the moment the comfort comes, the money comes, people usually forget God. The Kunti great prayer, Kunti told, "I want to pray to you, O God," to Krishna. They told, "Give me all the time trouble so that I remember you. The moment I am in comfortable life, I will forget you." So that is a different way. The very great, when the love for God is so much, they forget everything. And they want to remember God. And for that, they are ready to accept all the miseries and pains and sufferings. And here the Ram Prasad told, "Give me some money, but I promise, Mother, I won't forget you. Amai dema tobildari, ami nimo karam noi shankari." So that prakama, the moment he thought like that, he got a job. And then he started earning money. But his mind was completely dedicated to that mother. So he could not maintain the office accounts and all that. But the landlord, who gave the employer, was very happy. He told, "You need not to do anything. I will give you the salary. You only come and sing in the glory of God, in the glory of Mother. That will be sufficient." So it goes, and one who is practicing meditation always gets this opportunity. Anything and everything he can enjoy just by thinking. Then ishitva, capacity to influence and control anything and any being. Capacity to influence and control to anyone. That is called ishitva. This is the seventh power that the God can give, and through the meditation. And when that power comes, we know in the life of Lord Buddha. The Lord Buddha was walking, and it was the jungle. Then the villagers, they told, "Sir, you should not go, because there is a person and is a dacoit. He will kill you, and not only that, he will cut your finger. And by that way, he is keeping the account of how many people he has robbed of and how many people he has killed. He is a terrible man, you should not go in." Buddha smiled and said, "Let me see." And he entered into that. And that ferocious person also came, met him. And many of you know that story in the life of Lord Buddha. The Angulimala, he was transformed into a holy person. So Buddha stood before him, talked to him, and whole thing changed. So capacity to influence and control anything and any being. Another, I just remember the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He used to visit in Calcutta, Bagbajar, that area, and he used to go to a lady. She was so devoted. Sri Ramakrishna used to guide her, but her brother thought this Brahmin maybe they slowly influence my sister and will acquire her property. She was a widow. Thinking that her brother arranged a thug, we can say, a very strong man in those days, and to go and talk to Sri Ramakrishna and frighten him, if necessary to beat him. Sri Ramakrishna usually used to go with all the devotees. That particular day he was all alone, and when he entered into that lane, that the small narrow the road, one gentleman came. He was a very strong, powerful, and he came and stood before Sri Ramakrishna to threaten him. But instead Sri Ramakrishna touched his chest with one finger, and the Pramotha Gunda completely changed. So these are the stories that we read in the lives of the great soul. What are these? The power. This power is called Ishitva. Sri Ramakrishna having all this power, but he never showed it. In the life of Ma Saradamani Devi also, there is an incident that when she was all alone as a widow in the Kamarpukur, the one young man, he went mad. He was a devotee, but went mad, couldn't understand what he should do and what he should not. And when the mother was alone coming back from after bathing in the pond, he started chasing the mother. You know that story. Mother started running, and she was trying to hide herself. But this man, he found a game. He went on chasing her. Ultimately, our mother, so soft, so kind, so she became so strong and pushed that young man of strength, great strength, on the floor, and then took his tongue in her hand and started slapping him. What from the power come? Yogic power. This called Ishitva, capacity to control. And it is possible. This is possible. Then come Vashitva, capacity of self-control. This is called Vashitva. Swami Vivekananda, when he was traveling all over the length and breadth of India, in Sanskrit it's called Paribrajaka. They will be the holy people, they'll be traveling from one part to another, carrying the religion and culture, and they used to teach the morality. That was the norm. Even today there are people constantly going, but nowadays because of this the different type of way we can communicate over telephone, over camera, over the YouTube, and all those things have come, so we can communicate. But still the people, the Swamis, they travel from different parts, carrying with them different culture. So the mixture of culture that we see in this vast and varied land of India is because of the Swamis. The Swami Vivekananda was walking and he was passing through a jungle, and one day when he was sitting under a tree very hungry and thinking what to do, then suddenly he found that one tiger is approaching. When the tiger was approaching, he quietly looked at that, and afterwards jokingly he said, I told that tiger, the other the disciples, they asked Swamiji, were you not afraid at that time? No, I told the tiger, see, you are also hungry, I am also hungry, and I cannot eat you, but you can eat me. Okay, let some one of us become satisfied. But the tiger didn't like me, went away. So can you imagine the self-control even at that time, when there was no one, as tiger is approaching, and the Swami Vivekananda, unperturbed, never tried to save himself by climbing the tree and all that. Nothing. This is called self-control. There are so many wonderful stories are there that Sri Ramakrishna's direct disciples, in those days, they had the habit of smoking from hubble bubble. That was a great fashion, and this the Bengali particularly, and all over the India, hubble bubble was very popular, smoking there. And even when they used to go by boat, and arrangement for the hubble bubble was there, the one direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Sharat Maharaj, he became afterwards Swami Sharadananda and the first General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order. He was sitting, and suddenly the storm came, and the people thought, those who were in the boat, that they are going to capsize and die. And naturally people are shouting, crying, and addressing the boatman, take the boat to the shore and save us, like that. Then suddenly one noticed that this young boy, Sharat, he is smoking the hubble bubble. Then, hey man, what is this? We are going to die, and now you are smoking. He said, sir, when in the normal time you people were using this hubble bubble, I didn't get the opportunity. Now I am smoking, and now tell me what I should do. If the boat capsizes, I will try to swim, or whatever will happen, happen. Why should I be in the anxiety? Self-control. That is called capacity to self-control, boshitva. This is not ordinary capacity. These are all the yogic capacity, and ultimately out of the 8, kama vasaita. Kama vasaita, the power to satisfy any desire. Power to satisfy any desire. Kama vasaita. Many of you know the stories of the Trailanga Swami. He was a great sage. Sri Ramakrishna met him, and many others also. Mainly he used to live in the Benares, Kashi. And on the bank of the river Ganga he used to live, never cared, and used to move here and there, and leaving Shiva. People noticed him. Whenever he is hungry, he will go to the Ganga and he will cry like a child, Mother, I am hungry, give me milk. And they saw he is taking out the water, Ganga water, and drinking, and when he is drinking, Ganga water is becoming milk in his palm. So that is the power. And Trailanga Swami, he was, most of the time he used to float on the Ganga in the water. It's a huge body. Then one boat carrying the king of that place was going. It was sailing on that. Trailanga Swami, he went and caught that boat and went up. Nobody said anything because he was highly respected. Then he saw that the golden, the wonderful, very costly sword that the king was having. Usually the king, they used to hold one sword. Trailanga Swami wanted to see that. The king gave him with great respect. He knew the Swami. And after seeing that for a minute or so, he threw that into Ganga. All other people said, what have you done? Then the king said, the sword is so costly. Then just like a child in a great game that is playing, is it? You want that? So he put the hand into the water and brought 2 exactly the same sword and showed it to the king. Now you choose which one is yours. This is all the power of the yoga. The friends, now, as the God said, He gives, God gives direct power, that is 8. That is anima, minuteness, mahima, immensity, laghima, lightness, prapti, attainment, prakamya, capacity to enjoy anything, ishitva, capacity to influence and control, bashitva, capacity of self-control, kamabasa ita, power to satisfy any desire. Now the Lord said, and there are 10 other power that comes as the purity grows into the yogi. The first power is power to control hunger and thirst. So mainly those who practice the yoga, they practice it. Katiya Baba, there is another saint in India. He went and met his guru, and guru used to live inside a cave. It is in the Himalaya. And this young man, he went and told, please teach me meditation. Then in the beginning he was refusing. Then when he was going on pestering, then he said, okay, this is the posture you should maintain, and sit in front of the fire for a long, long time. The whole night you have to sit. Then the young boy started sitting like that. As it was cold outside, the guru was inside the cave and the disciple were outside. He never allowed him to go in. Then after a few days, he came out and said, you should not burn the fire because you are getting a lot of comfort. So that was so cold, and he said, no, it is a very much comfort, so no fire. Sit just like that. So obviously it is so cold and there's no little fire, that was also not there. And what to do? He could not concentrate. He was standing up, he was sitting, he was pacing up and down. Then the guru told, you are not sitting in one place, and even when you are sitting, you are dozing. So I will put a wooden belt around your waist, so that you cannot lie down, you cannot sit on that. So that was a Katiya. Katiya means the wood. The Katiya Baba, afterwards the name like that, the guru gave him that, and slowly, slowly he developed the capacity to give beyond the suffering of cold and heat and sleep, all. That is the Katiya Baba. The power to control hunger and thirst. This is the way they practice. Power to hear from distance, Dura Sravana. Dura Sravana, a yogi can hear many things. And this comes if you are practicing sincerely the yoga, meditation, concentration, one-pointedness in any way. Maybe in the path of yoga, maybe from the path of devotion, maybe from the path of knowledge. The moment your mind becomes concentrated, one-pointed, all these powers start coming. One day, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was very sick, and he came to Calcutta for treatment. Those who read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you know, that is one place called Shampukur. And he was there in one house that is known as Shampukur Bhati, and that particular house has been given to Ramakrishna Mission. It is now a center of the Ramakrishna Mission. And Sri Ramakrishna was sitting, some of the devotees, they were also sitting in front of him. Suddenly he said, Surendra is crying, as because of my ill health, I cannot visit him, and he is having the Durga Puja, the celebration of the Durga, and he is crying because I cannot go over there. You people please go. It is nicely decorated, so much of light is there. He gave the complete description of the pandal that the Surendra erected for the Durga Puja. Sitting far away, he could hear the cry of his disciple Surendra Mitra. When the other disciple went, they saw exactly the Surendra, he is crying and lamenting that his master, his guru, cannot visit him. Exactly how Sri Ramakrishna could hear. So this is the power. And then third power, power to transport body as swiftly as mind. That is called monojaba. And the Hanumanji also, if you read in his pranam mantra, monoyaba, that word come. Monoyaba means he can transport his body along with the mind. Mind can go and reach anywhere. Even when there is no visa and passport, you can travel any country with the mind. But your body cannot go. My body also. Because we are not yogis. But the yogi can transport their body even. There was a great person in Calcutta, Lahiri Mahashaya. This Lahiri Mahashaya used to work in an office. His boss was a British gentleman. And one day the Lahiri Mahashaya noticed his boss is not very happy. Then he said, "Sir, can you please share what happened to you?" Then he said, "What to say? For a long time I am not getting any letter or telegraph." In those days, telegraph was the fastest communication. From my wife, I do not know what has happened to her. The Lahiri Master told, "I will give you the information of your wife tomorrow." He smiled. How can you go? Sitting in Calcutta, and you will go and inquire about my wife, and you don't know her. You don't know the address. Next day, Lahiri Master came in the office and said, "Your wife is keeping well, and this is the dress she was wearing, and she was sitting outside in the courtyard, and she was reading a book, and she's fine. Don't worry about her." Naturally, that the British boss became very much curious, and he sent a special the message to his wife, "Can you tell me what happened on this particular day?" He mentioned the date and time. Surprisingly, the wife wrote him back that one Indian gentleman came, he stood in front of me in a little distance, and when I stood up and wanted to talk to him, thinking that you have sent him with a message, he vanished. I couldn't see him anywhere. This happens, and this is the power called Manoyaba. The Dura Sravana and Manoyaba. The power to assume any form at will, Kama Rupam. Power to assume any form. We know that in the life of Krishna and Rukmini, they were sitting when the Hanumana came to visit them. Hanumana was the one-pointed devotee of Sri Ramachandra. Wherever he went, he wanted to see that form of Sri Rama. He knew this is the Krishna, and Krishna and Rama are the same in essence, but he wanted to see the form of Ramachandra. The Krishna told the Rukmini, "You better take the form of Sita, and I will take the form of Rama." And they did. And Hanumana was so happy. How it is possible? That is the power, Kama Rupam. The power to enter into anyone's body. Parakaya Pravesham. Kaya means the body. Parakaya. It is not your own kaya. It is not your own body. But you are entering into the body of someone else. And it happened in the life of Shankaracharya. When he sat in a debate, the person he was debating was a married person. So obviously he told, you are the person claiming that you have all knowledge, right? Can you please give me the knowledge and that usually the husband and wife they have? Shankara was a brahmachari. He was from the young age, from the 8 years old, he became a monk. He never knew that life. Then he said, give me some time. But to claim that I know everything, you have to prove it. What the Shankara will do? He went and asked his disciple to maintain his body, take care of my body, so that the animals should not come and attack it. And he left his body, entered into the body of a king who passed away in nearby kingdom. And then for a few days he lived into that body and came back, again entered into his own body and went to that house where the debate was going on. This is possible. Parakaya pravesham, power to enter into anyone's body. Power to die according to one's wish. That is called Sachanda Mrityu. We know the Bhishma was having that. I will die on that particular day and time. That was the Bhishma, he declared, and it was possible. Power to enjoy the recreation of gods, Devanam Saha Kida. It is possible for Narada. He will go to any place, even when all the gods and goddesses they are enjoying, Narada can join there. It is at will. Power to fulfill any wish, Yatha Sankalpa Siddhi. Fulfill any wish, Yatha Sankalpa Siddhi. One lady came to Sri Ramakrishna with a prayer. My husband, he drinks a lot and not maintaining the household duties. The Sri Ramakrishna told her to go to Holy Mother. And then Holy Mother afterwards finally gave her a small flower that was offered to the god and said, take this flower back to your home and everything will be all right. Yatha Sankalpa Siddhi. That person became so good afterwards, so devoted. So obviously Sankalpa, that's why the holy people, when they pray, it is great value. When they are praying for someone else, the true mind, without any selfishness, it is great value. Yatha Sankalpa, power to fulfill any wish, power to see anything from distance, Dura Darshanam, and that is also possible, and power to command anyone, anywhere, without fail. We know in the life of Lord Jesus, one person, he was dead, and the dead body wrapped in a cloth they kept in a distant place in a cave, and he was a follower of Jesus. When Jesus went to that particular village, he didn't find him. Then he called, Lazarus, come up and come to me. Dead man. He got life back and came. Jesus had these powers. So this power to command. Friends, now we were interested to know the 18 different varieties of supernatural power. First 8, the God gives directly. Then balance 10. This is as the person is meditating, purifying the mind, automatically all this power that come. And then come another, they call it in the yoga, 5 petty power. Petty. And what the petty power? Power to know the past, present and future. Trikalagyatyam. We wish any one of us get that. Then even the President of America will come to you to know what is his future. All great people will come. But that, according to the yoga, is another byproduct. It is not the direct power. It is just a byproduct that power is coming. This is all just any petty powers. Trikalagnyata. Ma Sharada Muni was having that. Swami Vivekananda was having that. This power we have seen. The Madam Kalve. I will take 1 or 2 minutes extra today to complete this. The Madam Kalve, when she visited Swami Vivekananda in Paris, without even looking at her, Swamiji told her past and present and what will happen in future, everything. So that is possible. Power to avoid the effect of heat and cold, pleasure and pain. Power to read others' thoughts, parachittadi abhigyata. The Sri Ramakrishna could read whatever people are thinking, he knew. So he could immediately answer that. And this sometimes I have seen many Swamis and the Ramakrishna Mission Swamis, even my guru too, the Sannyas Guru and the Diksha Guru, both were having this power. But that is a different story. The parachittadi abhigyata, power to stop the effect of fire, sun, water, poison. We know in the Prahlada, you must read the life of Prahlada. That's a beautiful life, beautiful story. His father was against God. He wanted to kill Prahlada because Prahlada was a great devotee of the Vishnu. And he gave him the poison, he put him into the fire, threw him into the ocean. Everywhere Prahlada was saved. Meera, that is a historical, the Meeras that her relatives, they wanted to kill her for whatever may be the reason. She was so good, so kind. But you know, the other people, they always feel, why she is not like us? So kill him, kill her. So when they wanted to kill her, they gave the poison and said, your husband and said it. Husband had sent it to you to drink. And a devoted wife, and she knew it is poison. And she prayed to the Krishna and said, you are my husband. And they say, you have sent it to me. Let me drink it. She drank it and nothing happened. But don't try this. Even though you are having lot of devotion to any Lord, but don't try this. Just by hearing this, you should not. Then power to remain free from others' influence, aparajaya. No one can influence. And you can read in the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was apparently so simple, used to ask different questions to but you could not influence. One of our Swamiji was there, he was the president afterwards, Swami Bhuteshananda ji. Apparently he was so simple, just like a child, and the other people used to think that if we say twice or thrice, we can make him influence and then get the job done, but nothing. He will never. So that is the all power that we have. Friends, and quickly I wanted to finish, but we will do it in our next class. Ultimately, I can say today that Sri Ramakrishna used to spit again and again and say, Mother, don't give me all this trash. Again and again is to say. All this power is trash for a real, genuine spiritual seeker. When Swami Vivekananda was a young boy, hardly 20, then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna offered him all the 18 this power. Do you like to take all this 18 power? You know the answer. He said, what I am going to do with those? He refused. So we will discuss this in our next class. I think there are some questions.
Samir Kumar Chatterjee, what is the result of Japa Jagna?
Samir Babu is a nice question, very good question. When you are taking the name of God, Japa, what is happening? Your mind is becoming purified. That is the result of the Japa. The moment your mind will become purified, if you want all the list that I read, not the first 8, but the balance 10 and 5, all this power you will have, one can have after the repetition, sincerely repetition of the japa.
Milan Chattopadhyay, question, why we read Sri Bhagavad Gita, why not other Gitas like Ashtabakra?
The one can read, I am giving the discourses. The question that you have, Bhagavad Gita and Ashtabakra Gita, of course people are reading. So you can also read. I give myself the classes on Bhagavad Gita and also the Ashtabakra Gita.
Last question. Shubhadeep Sinha, isn't that we should always shun completely these powers that come gradually with meditation?
Yes, that is correct. You are correct, Subhadeep. And I, just as I said in the last sentence, Sri Ramakrishna, one day, Master Mahashaya noticed, he is spitting on the floor and in a very disgusted way, he is no, like that he was telling and spitting, and then he is refusing the offer that the Divine Mother wanted to give. No, Mother, I don't want all these trashes. So we will discuss that. A genuine seeker of spirituality should not hanker for this power. Why? Because these are also temporary. And when this power comes, the people forget other things. Once you start giving the supernatural medicine, and some people out of emotion, they may say, oh, that is good, you are helping people, but helping people is not the job of a yogi. That is, the doctors are there, they will treat. Medicine is there, but the yogi is supposed to reach to the goal, and that is God realization. Thank you, friends. We will discuss it once again in our next class. Let us conclude with this stotra. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Dibbhai Stavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam Nabidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.